Welcome to Sports Plus Passion. I'm your host, Brana Marks. Topic number 1 for today, Super Bowl 52 is set. Philadelphia Eagles versus New England Patriots, set for February 4th in the cold state of Minnesota. So first, we're going to start off with the Eagles. Eagles had an amazing game versus the Vikings in the NFC Championship. They massacred them. They won 38-7. Nick Foles had one of the most amazing games for a quarterback in a playoff game and just in general for his career. He was 26 of 33. He put up 352 yards and had 3 touchdowns. This was amazing. This is not the Nick Foles we're used to. He was a little inconsistent before, but he has stepped up to the plate. And I mentioned this in a previous episode that Nick Foles is surrounded by a dominating team. He has the offensive line he needs. He has the wide receivers he needs. He has the running backs he needs. He has everything he possibly needs. All he had to do was connect with his team. The coaching staff for the Eagles have done an amazing job reintegrating Nick Foles into this offense and just letting the defense do their thing. Nick Foles was able to avoid the Vikings pass rush by throwing downfield. That's how he accumulated this 352 yards, because he had an arm on him. He threw a touchdown where the ball stayed in the air for 50 yards. That is the most in any playoff game that the ball has stayed in the air. This is probably the best Eagles team that could go into a Super Bowl and win. They have all of the pieces, all of the confidence to win. They have been to a Super Bowl versus the Patriots at Super Bowl 39. So this is a rematch. This is the 6th rematch in Super Bowl history in general. And this is a completely different Eagles team. Now we're going to go talk about the Patriots and how similar they are to Super Bowl 39. First, let me just talk about the advantages that the Eagles do have. They do have a 4-man rush. They are very potent in their 4-man rush, putting pressure on QBs, not letting them sit in the pocket. You could see that against a team like the Vikings. Case Keenum, all over the place. He was extremely pressured, and they only have 7 points on the board. The defense knows how to break down an offense, and one of their X factors is Malcolm Jennings. He's a safety. He's probably going to be paired against somebody like the Gronk, who is definitely one of the Patriots' most valuable players as far as moving the ball upfield. And another X factor that Nick Foles holds, as long as he keeps his mindset and keeps his rhythm intact, he converts on 3rd down. He did that extremely well against a team like the Vikings, who usually don't let teams convert on 3rd down. Now the Patriots, of course, they're the Patriots. This is their 10th Super Bowl appearance. This is just another appearance by Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. They were the same people on the Super Bowl 39 team that won against the Eagles from then. Tom Brady is 40 years old. He's the first quarterback to start a Super Bowl game and be his age. He's only evolved. Tom Brady has definitely evolved. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's some kind of old man. He is older, but he has a lot of wisdom, and he still has his physicality, and it's a threat. You never really know what's going to wear him out or how he's going to adjust. A head coach like Bill Belichick with just as much wisdom. Just a fun fact to consider, Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, who is Bama's coach, 2 of the most amazing coaches probably in the world, have never won a championship in the same year in the past 10 years. Very ironic. It's a little suspicious, but very ironic and something to take into consideration, besides the fact that the Eagles are huge contenders to win this. Besides the Patriots just being the Patriots, one of their X factors is Danny Amendola. Danny Amendola is a wide receiver. He is very good in heavy coverage, which the Eagles are going to present to the Patriots throughout this entire game. In the end, what it's going to come down to is the mindsets of each team, the Eagles and the Patriots, because you have somebody like the Patriots, veteran team, been here. So the Patriots are going to come in here and they know they can win because they've beat teams where it even looks like they're not about to win and they win anyways. Just how they beat the Titans to get to the Super Bowl. They were down almost the whole game and they came back in the last few minutes to win 24-20. So they have a comeback advantage as well as just being an older, wiser team. They're like the Spurs of the NFL. They always figure out a way to get to the top. It just happens. And the Eagles, they're a younger dominating team as far as they haven't dominated like this in the league in a long time. They came out this season. They've been very consistent and grown from every single game. The Patriots have something to worry about. They're both in it to win it. This game is definitely not going to be a blowout. It's definitely going to have plenty of lead changes. And if anything, it's going to go into overtime. These are two highly competitive teams. It's going to be amazing to watch. I say Eagles. I say Eagles win it all this time. Let me know what you guys think. Topic number 2, LeBron James. Congratulations to LeBron James. He's my favorite player, definitely inspiration to me. He is the youngest player to score 30,000 points. Also the youngest player to reach 10,000 points and 20,000 points. Now besides that accolade, his team is falling apart. The Cavs are, at this point in the season, not even looking like a playoff contender. Their chemistry is trash. They cannot get it together, and they look like they can't get it together on the court. They're scattered, players running into each other, especially on defense. They are not efficient on defense. They let the Thunder, who are going through a similar problem as having all these new players, trying to integrate them, trying to make them work together, they let them score 148 points. That is the most points any team has scored against a team LeBron James has been on. Extremely frustrating game on his end. LeBron has been on the sideline yelling. He has been on the game with a tough face, not lighthearted. Even when he scored his 30,000 points, he didn't really look all that happy because he knows at the end of the day, he's on a team where that 30,000 points is not really helping them. LeBron has a winning mindset. He wants to go and get another ring. The team chemistry is not helping that goal. And it's really up to the coaching staff to implement some chemistry and some fluidity into this team. It's not about what they're doing on the court in game style. It's about what they're doing off the court. And they started something like that with a meeting this past week, very emotional. Apparently a lot of it was on Kevin Love, who has been inconsistent as far as leaving games early with illnesses, leaving practices with illnesses. If you have one player who's not taking his role seriously, adds to the drama that keeps coming out about the Cavs. LeBron's mad about, them not getting Paul George. Isaiah Thomas is still not 100%. They were so excited about Isaiah Thomas coming back. Isaiah Thomas cannot put this team back on track by himself. They have way too much to work on. And Tyronn Lue, their head coach, give them consistency either because he just can't figure out what starting lineup he wants to put up. It's not really about the starting lineup. It's not about who you put in the game when it comes to the game. It's just about what you do off court now. How you are implementing chemistry off the court. If the Cavs don't get it together soon, they're definitely not going to playoffs. They're not making it. They definitely not now with all these losing streaks and being blown out. It's disgusting. The Cavs suck. And it's weird to say that in the same sentence because they're the Cleveland Cavaliers. To say they suck is very ironic, but it's true. At this point in the season, it's very true. Topic number 3, the Ball family. Of course, I love talking about the Ball family because they're always doing something so interesting. Now that LaMelo and LiAngelo are in Lithuania, they have created this Big Baller Challenge. Basically, it's a way for LeVar to get his sons more minutes and more points in games against younger teams, because against older teams, this Lithuanian team that his sons are on are 4-16. In the Big Baller Challenge, 3-0. Recently, LaMelo was able to score 43 points and LiAngelo was able to score 37 points and he had 10 assists. Basically, this is just a spotlight for his sons. LeVar is able to step in as assistant coach, gives him more power. It seems that the head coach doesn't have a problem with this. How long is this really going to play out? That your team has to play extra games. Basically, for 2 other players, it adds more exhaustion. It adds more time to these players' schedules. So I don't think this is going to last very long, and I hope it doesn't, because it's a big disadvantage for the team as a whole in the long run. One thing to consider is that this league, whether you play them against younger players or older players or put more games into their schedule, when they come back to America, if they decide to come back to America, definitely not going to be the same. Their advantage on the court is not going to be the same. These leagues that are overseas are extremely different from the NBA. Honorable mention, Trae Young is a point guard for the Oklahoma Sooners basketball team. He is being compared to Steph Curry, and rightfully so. Steph Curry, when he was at Davidson, he put up one of the most historical collegiate performances ever. Trae Young is averaging 30 points per game. That is amazing for any collegiate player. Steph Curry only averaged 28. He's 39% from the 3-point range, which is the same as Steph Curry. He's averaging 9.7 assists. This man put up 22 assists in a game, which broke the record for the NCAA and the Big 12 Conference. Trae Young is on his way to something extremely amazing. And as far as his journey into the NBA, that is something definitely to watch out for. It's gonna be very interesting if we have 2 Steph Currys in this league. That's gonna make things very exciting. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys for keeping up with me. I'm so excited. I will be dropping episode 10 the next time that this comes around. Episode 10. That's definitely going to be a big one. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for hanging tough with me. This is Sports Plus Passion. Peace, guys.